Hello, I'm Ashley Lambert Maberly. I wrote the script for Lucia, but I also wrote the music and lyrics, and I'm here to tell you a bit about that. So let's move into my music room. Okay, to start writing a song you need an idea, and luckily for us, the ideas are all in the story. We're not writing pop music for the radio, so we don't need a new way to go dance, 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 or I love you so much. We just need to tell the story. So these ideas will jump out at us. In musicals, the rule of thumb is when people get very emotional, they can be very happy, very angry, very sad, very something. That's a really good time for a song. And luckily for me, my characters tend to get excited over just about everything, so there's lots of opportunities for them to sing. So let's pick an idea. Well, how about when famous opera singer Olga Bracely comes into town and she sees how marvelous it is and decides she's going to stay there. That would be a good time for her to sing about how happy she is to be in this town. Makes sense. Fun. Okay, so different songwriters have different approaches at this point. What I tend to do is I write some sample lyrics down, I experiment, I try to pick a title and see if it works as sort of the first line or the last line or how it would fit into the chorus. Picking the title really helps me because I think it kind of encapsulates the idea of the song down to just a few words. So I start with that, try out some lyrics. And I'm just doodling with words, really. It doesn't have to be the final answer. It's just sort of a starting place, and then you add the melody, and if it doesn't quite work, you adjust the lyrics, and later you want to go back and revise them anyways. So, just if you're writing for yourself, just doodle. Once I end up with words I kind of like, I move to the piano. I start putting words to a melody and a harmony. I tend to do both at the same time because the melodies that I come up with on my own, out of thin air, are kind of generally quite simple compared to the ones that I sort of discover when I'm trying out different chords. As far as writing lyrics goes, I find that really easy. It's super fun. Melodies are pretty simple too. If you want tips on writing lyrics or melodies, just let me know and I will get back to you. But the hard part for me is figuring out the chords. Chords is so hard. That's whatever the piano or band or orchestra is playing underneath your melody and lyrics is built up over a harmonic foundation, which is a fancy way of saying you kind of know what chords the guitar would be strumming while you're singing. So that used to take me forever, was figuring out the chords. I would just do it randomly. So if my song went something like, London is bold and Brighton is fair. Before I get to that, I'd have tried all sorts of things. London is bold, that doesn't sound right. London is bold, not quite right. London is bold, okay, I like that one, let me keep that one. It was not a very effective way of figuring out what chords. And then I stumbled across a book called Writing Music for Hit Songs by Jay Josephs, and it completely changed my life. What a great book. Jay basically said that if you're in the key of C, which is the one that has no black notes, so I'm picking it because it's easier, 9 times out of 10, the chord you're trying to find is going to be in the key of C. It's going to be a triad that is 3 notes that are all in the key of C, and the basic ones are C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and then you're back to C again. It's only really 7 different chords, and I was going crazy trying to find all sorts of chords, trying to get the right one, and it was probably one of those 7. And if the 7 don't sound quite right, but there's one that's close, it might be an inversion. Like you didn't want C major played normally, you wanted it with a G in the bass for a slightly different sound, or way in the bass. You can even put in notes that aren't in the chord. So I've got a B flat in the bass now. That gives it a little different sound, or that's a B flat over C leading up to a C. Gives you a sense of expectation that it's going to burst into something else. You can jazz it up, have a 6th added, a major 7th, lots of good things, but they're usually built off of those 7 triads that are in your scale. So easy. So now I've got a melody, lyrics, chords, just about done. I still have to create an arrangement. Arrangement really just means what notes the piano should be playing if you're using a piano. Should it be arpeggiated? Should you be saying something like London is bold and Brighton is fair. That's a different mood than London is bold and Brighton is fair. There's different choices you can make. For the longest time, I thought there was probably one right answer, and if only I had a computer program.
created using Powtoon.